Hey everybody, Scoutcrafter here again. It's Fabrication Friday, and today's project originates all the way from Australia. So let's go downstairs, see what we can do. So we're in the shop today, and today we're going to be doing something a little different. You know, when you come down the shop, and especially when I do restorations all the time, a lot of times you come down here and you want to do something a little different. Today is one of those days I want to make something. I want to build something, and I'll tell you why. Quite a while ago, it's been a long time, I received a beautiful box from a friend of ours from Australia, Tasmania, Australia, and by the name of John Auksorius. And let me show you what John sent. This is from his father's estate, his late father's estate, and he says he's got so many tools. Let me show you the cool things he sent. Now, this is what John sent over. I assorted everything, put them in small bags and everything, but you know, John's father, may rest in peace, he must have had a tremendous amount in common with me, because this is the kind of stuff I look for. I love NOS, new old stock tool handles, you know, the acetate tool handles. I'm always looking for them. You can't find them anymore, and especially these are from Australia, or the other side of the world, so to speak, from where I am, and you never see this stuff. So let me show you what some of the great stuff that he sent some great old wood chisels, and these are all you could see here, they're all the good steel, you know, from back then, and the original hand, and these will clean up real nice. And here's an old screwdriver. This is an old cabinet maker screwdriver, had that telltale handle, and look, God knows how many times this thing was used, right? And a couple nice new old stock handles. These and look at the great graphics on there. The Titan Manufacturing, the Titan Manufacturing Company. How cool is that? You never see this over here in the States. These are very interesting because these are wedges. These are hammer or any kind of wedges that you put in. And look how different they are. They're very different than the ones we have here in the States. And let me show you that. There's a difference in the two wedges from the other side. This is a typical wedge that we use here. And you can see here, and it's made that when it goes in, the wood compresses around it and it won't pop out. That's why you have those little ridges in there. But look over here at this wedge here, and you can see it is a wedge, but it's only got those little holding on both sides, which is, you know, great, because it doesn't create a kind of a mush of the wood as it's going. I'm really excited to try these because I've never seen these before. Let me know if you ever seen this type of wedge before where you're from. Now, here's something interesting. You see on the file here, this is a flat bastard file. And it's funny because I never knew that this is what they were referring to when people would call me that. On the other side here, you could see here it says Wiltshire, and it's from Australia, and we never ever see one of these files over here. So that's a real nice file to have here. Beautiful condition. Also, he had two NOS, new old stock, never used, auger bits. And these are always nice when you see them in this kind of condition, you know, that sharp and ready to go. And of course, now John sent a whole array of different sizes, and these are all new old stock, and you can see they were never used. And these are all, and over here they have the little indent that you could put a little a metal cap on some of them. Some of them obviously are regular screwdriver handles, again, all never used. Not a lot of them aren't inscribed, which is great because I have that little engraver. Here's a Stanley. This is unusual because you don't usually see this type, but what's nice about this is because of the shape of this, if you want to make a small hammer or something, you could do it that you can always, it'll give you an indexing more or less, but that shape handle, real nice. Here's some this has the cap plate on it, and this is a striking or a chisel handle, another screwdriver handle, and they're all beautiful. And I just love this stuff, and you never find them anymore. Lastly, John sent over some of his dad's, you know, look at this, a beautiful, a new old stock Australia, Stanley Australia chisel that would go into one of those handles that we have there. And that was some real, it's still very sharp. And some of the screwdriver inserts that would go into the handles. This is before they're inserted. Now, they got two splines here that when they're pressed in, it stops it from spinning. But I also usually epoxy it in so that you don't have any pull out or whatever. But these are done at the factory under, you know, conditions that they never come out anyway. Look at this beautiful auger bit. Have you ever seen anything so nice? Look at the shape on here. And hold on, I'm going to clean this up. Okay, we're back. I had to do a quick cleanup. I couldn't show you this beautiful piece like it is. Okay, you can see here, this is a 1/2 inch, made in Japan. But look at how the lines of this little auger bit is, and especially down here with what's going on here. You got square shank over here, then it turns into like kind of a fluted round shank. And I never see anything like this. It's almost a triangle. This is a really nice, interesting bit, and can't wait to try it out. And of course, we have the old-fashioned spade bits. Now, these are spade bits for wood screws. You can see here the profile. Now, the newer ones that you see out of China look like this. But look at the shaft diameter here. That's like 1/8 of an inch, and look at the shaft diameter here. So these things were made to last, and there's a set of those. That's really well. Here's the supplies we have for making the quick hammer. We have a piece of all thread. We have that nice handle from John's dad. We're going to thread this, tap it into there. Then we got this piece of tubing, steel tubing, that the all thread fits in nice and tight. And that'll give added strength. And then we will make the hammer head out of this and put some caps on there. Let's get working on it. Okay, we're getting close to final assembly. We have the head done now. If you notice here, what's pretty interesting is this side is a steel side. You can see these are caps that spin on, and they have little threaded dowels that spin right on here. But because I turned it after the caps were on, look, this one almost disappears. You know, you don't even see it, but look, watch closely. Isn't that cool? I get a kick out of that. That thing just opens right up and seals right up. So that's all done. Over here, we put a little counter bore on, threaded that. Now we have our threaded rod here. The threaded rod will, this is threaded also, so we'll put this into here. And then we will slide this steel tubing over the threaded rod, and that'll be sandwiched between the head of the hammer. And this fits nicely into that counter bore area here. And then we will epoxy everything and make sure that it's all. But I want to show you one thing. This is actual shelfware. Remember, we joked about it before, but this is actual shelfware. And what this is, you can see this is just comes from knocking around on other ones and things like that. And, you know, so what we're going to do is we're going to polish this out before we put the hammer together, obviously. Now, I have 3 products here. And all 3 of these will work fine. We got the mothers that we used the other day. That's all. You can use it for plastic, metals, anything. It's just an abrasive in a paste. This is a clear coat polish, which is a very fine polish. And this is Meguiar's Plastics, which is very good. It's a little bit more abrasive. So this would be the most abrasive. Next abrasive, and this would be the finest. So we'll take this up to a nice polish. Do never put the plastic on the buffer because you'll burn it. You have to do that by hand. So We'll get this nice and shiny, glue everything up, and be back. And we're calling this project done. You know, I really had a good time making this because the whole time I was thinking this is kind of a tribute to John's father, you know, and collecting these handles. And I know that if he collected these handles, I bet you he collected a bunch of other stuff that I love, like all hardware and nuts and bolts and things like that. So this is really was a joy to do. But you can see what we did, polished it out. You see now how nice that is, and put a little red stripe there in the grooves, filled in the Stanley with red, and then pinned the top handle here, the head, because the threads only go up to here, and we didn't have to pin the handle because the threads go all the way down to where the red line starts. So you have a lot of gripping there, and it's just really nice. And obviously this is the steel side with the blue, red side is the aluminum. So I can also make a Delrin top for it, but it's solid. And the reason I made this hammer in this configuration is because my other hammer that I use all the time just wasn't quite long enough here. You can see when you match it up, I needed another, because a lot of times I go behind the machine when I'm working on the milling machine. I needed something just a little bit longer. And this is just perfect, isn't it? And it's just such, I tell you, if you could feel this hammer has just the right weight to it, the right balance, and it's a pretty hammer now, you know, and all made from this this handle that we never would have thought, you know. But I got a bunch more handles and a lot more tools that can be made. So a special thanks, John. Thank you so much for sending them over. And again, a tribute to your dad for keeping this kind of stuff and collecting this. And there's a lot more people like us around. And hope you all enjoyed it. Thanks very much. Hope you have a nice weekend. Take care now. Bye-bye.